fantastic. Brian McBride, Bocanegra, Clint Dempsey. You just have to really recognize that there are some clubs that are just associated with fan bases here, and I was surprised when I moved here how many Fulham fans were actually in America, but then I'm not surprised because they're tracking the progress of the players that they count as heroes, and Jedi has really gone into the upper echelons of how Americans look. Not even just in the Premier League, I'm talking worldwide, and I think the relationship he has with Fulham right now, don't fix it if it's not broken.
Yep.
I like him staying at Fulham, but I would like to see him, stretch his wings a little bit. Go to Manchester United, be an attacking fullback in that system. What's that face for? I think he could make a good run there. In the way that Michael Carrick wants to play with attacking fullbacks, getting higher up, and Jedi Robinson being one of the best created chances players that Fulham has, that Premier League really saw last year. I mean, he's so consistent in his ability to do that. I would like that move for him. I think it would grow him as a player at United.
All right. Well, you know how games have star cams? I think we need a JD cam for the whole morning footage just so that we can get all your reactions in the moment. All right. Next player that we're going to look at, Bradley Barcola. Ooh. So does he stay at PSG? Does he go to Arsenal? Or does he go to Liverpool? Those are the three options that we have here. Lisa, are you liking any of these?
So I don't think he should stay at PSG.
How come?
Because he wants to be a consistent starter. He wants to be a superstar. He wants to be that next level, I'm this club's #1, I'm their go-to. And that's not going to happen at PSG. You've already won back-to-back Champions Leagues. Congratulations, you have that in your arsenal. Go take that experience and take it somewhere else. And I think Liverpool is a pretty good fit for him.
Oh, okay, you wanted her to say Arsenal.
She had me.
Because
Where's the ice? The whole time. She had me. She built me up. She was in there. She was like reeling me in. Yeah, it was a Philly shoulder roll.
No, I think it's a great move to go to Liverpool. Without Mo Salah there, they need someone else that can contribute moving forward. And he's such a versatile player, right? He can play on the left. He can play on the right. He can cut inside. He'll get end line. He'll be your creator. And he can also be the future. He can also take Liverpool to the next level, continue them winning, play in Champions League, get them to the top. But Bradley Barcola could be a star at Liverpool, and that's what he needs.
I can't argue with that.
See?
I worry with him. I agree, because I worry with Arsenal, with how Arteta coaches that team.
Yeah.
It's slow, right? And Barcola is not. He wants action. He wants movement. He wants the ball. He wants to take people on. A guy like Saka, who has those abilities, you saw him like kind of stunted to some degree this year. So I would agree.
Nutella ice cream makes us a spoonful happier. 'Cause you give me the Discover the incredible taste of Nutella in every spoonful. Nutella ice cream, a spoonful of happiness.
I'd take a chance at Liverpool.
Lisa, we got people in the chat, people saying Liverpool is the obvious choice. Yep. Liverpool, 100%. All right, let's move on to the next person. Ayub Buwadi. I love it. I love poking people.
She loves it. She's in game show host mode.
I just throw stuff and I get to sit back and enjoy. All right, Leo's Ayub Buwadi. Fits for him, Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, or Liverpool. JD, are you leaning one way or the other here?
Mine is contingent on one aspect.
Rodri?
Yes.
Yep,
so
same.
glad that Benny is in the same space as me, because when I watch this young man play, I can see the similarities in terms of their game and just their presence, which I always say, when you first saw Rodri play, you thought to yourself, wow, that's a player that's even older than his age will kind of depict, and he's kind of kept that consistency throughout his career. I love the growth, and I just think that Man City has a space right now, if Rodri decides to depart, that he could almost instantly walk into and dictate. Now, there is the question mark, because you don't have the tutelage of Pep Guardiola, who is the architect of creating those type of players because of his playing career and what he can do in terms of creating some of the best sixes in the world. But you still have a great template of world-class players to be around, great foundation, a Man City team that is full of winners, and I just believe that he's ready to go to the next level, because what I've seen in this World Cup, I've seen it at domestic level, but now the progression and doing it in the bigger stage, doing it against opposition that technically on paper you're not supposed to be bullying, i.e. the Brazil game. Fantastic player.
I want to throw one more team in there as well, though.
Do it.
because I know we love to put the Premier League teams in there, but I think PSG, for him to learn behind the Vitinhas, and I think he's an interesting kind of player. I think he fits that style a little bit more and I think Man City would be a perfect fit if it's the Pep Guardiola system that we've come to know. But I don't know what it's going to look like next year, right, with the new manager. And so PSG seems like an interesting choice as well with the style of play there and who he could learn from.
I like the PSG shout because I think Boadi is a player that could step into a midfield right now and lead it, but to me, he's the guy you build the future around. You build an entire midfield around, and at PSG, he would get to learn a little bit how he could be the leader, how he could have a whole team and a formation around him, and that's, I think, the next evolution of his game and the next step for the young player.
The only question mark I have around the PSG move is how many minutes are you going to get around João Neves, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz that's in there as well. Zaire Emery, who probably doesn't want to be playing at right back.
We're underway in Miami with Cape Verde in their navy blue playing from right to left, and Argentina backed by this passionate, deafening support in their white and sky blue striped shirts, white shorts. They're playing from left to right. Cape Verde, not the 1% club, the 1% country. 100% they have created the fairy tale story at this World Cup. You would think this is where the story ends. But for Babista, their coach, he says size defines nothing in football. And they, for the smallest nation to ever reach the knockout stages, they're up against the defending champions. It would be the greatest ever shock if they could pull it off, as Pina gives the ball away, and Almada looks to Lautaro Martinez. Martinez with the cross, running forward is on this near side is DePaul, couldn't keep the ball in play. But they have been a difficult side to break down and a threat on the break.
Yeah, they have, and they're also a team that are happy on the ball. A comfortable possession, they play through Pina in the midfield, who I know he's giving the ball away there. But he's got so much composure, he doesn't rush it, and they're like that as a team. They're so well organised, they'll go and defend, but they'll make moves, they'll make offers for their teammates, and they'll play the pass. There's no fear in how they play, and they've got some players that are off the cuff, that bring that unpredictability, that excitement. It sounds like I'm describing the best team we've ever seen, but it's just because you're expecting a Cape Verde side to sit and camp around their box, clear it up and hope they can hold on and hold on and hold on. But they've come to play football, and that's why everyone loves them so much. The draw against Spain was a defensive display, because it had to be. Uruguay was a different game. They're coming to show the best version of themselves, and they've absolutely done that.
The support in this stadium, we'll keep referencing it because they're making all the noise, but it's contagious. Because as soon as a pocket of Argentinian fans start jumping up and down in unison, it quickly spreads all the way around this impressive arena here in Miami. As Lautaro Martinez just inside the Argentinian half to Messi. Challenge made by Pina. Messi, though, picks it back up. Lautaro Martinez is sent running away towards the area. Lays it off, and then it is with Medina, the left back, quickly joining the attack. Almada. But Cape Verde have got 9 players behind the ball, 5 live, 3 minutes played here in Miami. 6 o'clock kickoff local time, 11 o'clock back in the UK. Argentina will maybe have to be patient, but they have, certainly with Lionel Messi, who just stands still, has a little glance around. McAllister pushes the ball forward. Argentinian player has gone down writhing in agony. That is Molina, the right back. Referee, who's Drew Fisher from Canada, and quickly will get to his feet as Cape Verde come forward over on that far side, the right, and it's back with Pina, who does that effective job just sitting in front of that back four.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only one in that midfield that sits, but he's so brave. He'll take the ball and make the offer. He's got so much composure, and at times it probably does feel like he's all alone, but this is a team that functions so well.
Cabral might have been caught late by De Paul he was. The referee tried to play the advantage, but Cape Verde have been awarded this free kick almost midway through the Argentina half as they play from right to left. And Cabral, who talks about the anxiety that he had to go through for that final group game and that draw against Saudi Arabia that saw them qualify in that goalless draw in Houston. Got a chance to deliver this ball now, but no, he actually plays it down the line to Cabral, who Giovanni Cabral dropping into the penalty area, cleared away, picked up by Mendes on the far side, right-hand side. Ryan Mendes tries to deliver it low. That was blocked by Medina, and it goes out for a Cape Verde throw, 0-0, 5 minutes played. Been a decent start by
Yeah, it has. No surprise. You know, they are a team that has composure. I mean, player for player, Argentina are obviously better than them, but they just work so well as a team. They've had the ball in the Argentina box a couple of times. That just only gives them encouragement.
This is Pina, 30 yards out from goal for Cape Verde, strokes it back. Cabral, the left back, that is Sidney Cabral to Giovanni Cabral, who quickly came under pressure, stumbles, loses the ball. De Paul inside towards Messi outside the centre circle. McAllister collects it, strokes it out towards Molina on the halfway line, near side the right, 0-0, 5.5 minutes played. 5 Live and BBC Sounds on what is going to be a real busy weekend of sport that will bring you on 5 Live. It's where BBC Sounds and Sports Extra 2 and 3, those streaming services are really going to come into effect, as we will bring you the World Cup, we'll bring you Wimbledon, we'll bring you live cricket, we'll bring you live rugby union. And just go to the website for the schedules to see whatever sport you want, the British Grand Prix, because we'll have it catered for you. It's just a question of trying to find out where. Here though, as the challenge quickly comes in, Romero to Costa, wasn't able to turn before Romero was quickly in at it.
Yeah, he wasn't, but the ball then is cleared all the way to Vizinha, who looked like he was just going to catch it. He just takes a little touch, a couple of keep-ups. They've definitely settled, and whether they win or not here, they're not getting stage fright.
Certainly Vizinha's got no stage fright. He just turns away from Lautaro Martinez inside his own penalty area, but they've lost it now. And then it was running away from Enzo Fernandez. They clear it long to Cape Verde. Mendes is after it, brings the ball under control. Mendes enters the penalty area, gets the shot, and it takes a diversion off Romero and runs into the arms of Emi Martinez.
Yeah, it's a threat for them. Mendes with that speed down the right-hand side. He did have options inside him, but he opts to go up himself, drags onto his left foot. It's not a clean strike, but the deflection could have been tricky for Martinez.
Argentina faced just 2 shots on target in the group stages. It was the fewest of any side. 3-0 against Algeria, 2-0 against Austria, and that 3-1 victory against Jordan in Dallas for their final group game. As Lisandro Martinez walks towards the centre circle, it's like he's going for a stroll down by the beach here in Miami, as Messi gets the short ball back from McAllister, weaves his way forward. Referee plays the advantage as he was caught. De Paul inside. This is McAllister. Had to slide into the challenge to keep it with Argentina. Knocked out by Enzo Fernandez towards Medina. Linking up is Almada. Back now with Enzo Fernandez. It's a curling ball towards the right, but it's intercepted. And it was intercepted by Giovanni Cabral, who pays the ball forward to his namesake Sidney. And Sidney Cabral runs forward. Argentina showing their respect with 3 players quick to crowd out the left back.
Yeah, they know the threat the Cape Verde pose. Cabral likes to get forward from fullback, and he's tricky as well. He's not, you know, a typical fullback, defensive fullback. He wants to go and get forward and carry the ball and create space, and he was just crowded out by Argentina there.
Argentinian voices fill the air in Miami as Messi gives Molina something to chase, the right back who does get forward at every opportunity. He started 6 of the 7 games when they won the World Cup in Qatar. He came on as a half-time substitute against Algeria, started then against Austria, was one of the 9 changes as he was rested against Jordan. Was the beauty for Lionel Scaloni, the manager. I'm going to test your memory, by the way, James, at some point tonight. I know you know it's been coming, as that was taken on neatly by Giovanni Cabral. He was fouled inside the centre circle. And it's linked to the World Cup winning manager. But we'll wait, because whilst it's 0-0, there's every reason to concentrate on the football. Giovanni Cabral. Fractionally left of centre, goes back towards Pina. The full-backs push on, centre-back switch. Pina drops in between them. Coming forward now is Pico Lopez, who his family plays for Shamrock Rovers in the League of Ireland. His Aer Lingus flew his family out. Been such a story, an Irish youth international. This is his 49th appearance. He was contacted via LinkedIn. He thought it was a scam the first time, ignored it, and then eventually responded, but that's how he came to play for Cape Verde. As Messi picks the ball up in the centre circle, forward ball, looking towards Lautaro Martinez. It was Enzo Fernandez who tried to penetrate that defence. But Cape Verde dealt with it, 10 minutes played, and if you think, you look at it as blocks of 10, then Babista, their coach, named the African Coach of the Year in 2025 for World Cup qualification. They've achieved that first block of 10 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt it would have been part of the plan, the aims coming into the game, the small wins that you need to build the confidence. And they've managed it well. Goalkeeper hasn't been tested. They've had decent possession at times on the ball. Argentina are just not able to find the gaps so far. But when they played Uruguay had great success at the full-backs going forward and hitting those diagonals over the top of the back line.
That's the voice of James McFadden on BBC Radio 5 Live as Enzo Fernandez with a low cross from the left-hand side of the area, easily dealt with by the Cape Verde defence. And now on that far side, Stephen Moreira plays the ball forward, and it was Laros Duarte who was running and took a little bit of a tumble, but they get a throw over on that right-hand side. And as you said very early on, they are comfortable. They're not just going to sit in here, Cape Verde.
No, even they win it back, even though they know they're going to be under pressure, and Argentina have tried to press them. But Duarte just plays that into the full-back area, makes a run up the line, it's played into his path, and he gets his team a throw-in going 40-50 yards. It's good play. Okay, they don't get to cause problems to Argentina, but they take the pressure off themselves, they get a bit further up the pitch, and again it's those little wins that you mentioned earlier.
The menacing skies appear to have eased. Threat of storm activity hopefully doesn't affect this game. We had obviously the 2-hour delay in Philadelphia, France versus Iraq, and then that match between Mexico and Ecuador the other night that was delayed by an hour. They're the only 2 games that have so far been affected by the weather. Still, it seems that there is that confusion about when the kickoff time will be between Mexico and England, which we will bring you news of and keep you updated. BBC website perfect for that, as Lautaro Martinez unable to turn on the edge of the centre circle. Cape Verde clear the ball away, and they will have Medina now at the left back. McAllister just comes short to collect it, left-hand side of the centre circle. Romero gets the ball back from Molina, playing in front of Cape Verde at this stage with every Navy shirt back behind the ball. Still 0-0, 13 minutes played on 5 Live. McAllister, De Paul. Along the halfway line, he'll pass it now to the Manchester United defender Lisandro Martinez, and then De Paul comes over to take charge once more. Enzo Fernandez, high up the pitch on the far side, the left, is Medina, the left back. Back towards Fernandez. De Paul with his long sleeve shirt in these sticky conditions here in Miami. This is Lisandro Martinez. walking pace. Romero inside the centre circle. De Paul again makes himself available. Enzo Fernandez has Medina high up to his left. Back it goes towards De Paul. Making the run is Almada. Messi with a decisive goal, shoots wide. Left-footed. Across the face of goal, out for a goal kick. Just that darting little run by Messi, looking to try and make something happen.
Yeah, it's great play from Argentina. They break the line, and when it's laid back, I think Almada's coming off to hit that with his right foot. Messi just takes it off him, drags it onto his left, fires a shot. It goes wide, but I thought about the noise would be like in here if he scored. It was loud enough when he nearly scored. So, but it was good play. They break the lines. There's a bit of speed. There's movement. Disrupts Cape Verde defensively. It creates that little gap. And we know what he's capable of, Lionel Messi.
Part of me as a neutral wants Cape Verde to score for the fantasy to continue. But also, like you, I want to hear that explosion of noise when Argentina score. And you would think it would be inevitable. However, Vecina did keep a clean sheet against Spain and also against Saudi Arabia. And he joins Peter Shilton and Dino Zoff as the 40-somethings who have kept 2 clean sheets in the group stages of the World Cup. He's in good company, is Vecina, who was named man of the match for his heroics against Spain in that opening game, which was a real surprise. Argentina 0, Cape Verde 0, BBC Radio 5 Live. It's a breathless, feels breathless inside this stadium. This is Enzo Fernandez, left corner of the area. Back it goes, Almada, looking to try and turn, runs forward, turns once again, but now with his back to goal, infield towards Messi. Challenge was from Giovanni Cabral on Messi, and he rocks back in frustration. He says to the Canadian referee, I got the ball, but this is a direct free kick for Argentina. It is left of centre, and it's probably a shade over 25 yards out from goal.
Yeah, I thought it was a risky pass to play because Messi didn't look favourite to get it, but we know that how good he is. I actually think Cabral may have got the ball first, but he's come through the back of Messi in the follow through, and this is an opportunity. I think anywhere inside the Cape Verde half's an opportunity for Messi, right enough.
The Argentinian supporters raise the decibel levels here inside Miami. Vecina made those 7 saves against Spain, lines up his wall. Messi kneeling down, lines up the ball. It's actually probably closer to 30 yards rather than 25.
Yeah, but we know what he's capable of.
Vecina all in yellow. At the minute leans on his right-hand post. Messi is leaning on his knees. They're complaining that the wall is not back the full 10 yards. You've got De Paul or Messi. Messi is eyeing it up. It's under 30 yards out from goal. Messi now runs up, left-footed, over the wall, and diving forward to catch it with both hands is Vecina.
Yeah, it was comfortable for him. He does get it up and over the wall, just doesn't get the power on it. The only thing, it could be potentially a little bit awkward for Vecina because it looks like it may bounce just before it gets to him, which can make it difficult, but it comes out, closes the space, nice and easy for him.
Couldn't generate the pace on it, could he?
Nah, he couldn't. I mean, it is fun, we do know what he's capable of, but he just doesn't get the power on it that he wants.
De Paul floats it forward, Mourinho with a layoff towards Messi, just too far ahead of him. It was a ball played over the top. Mourinho made good ground on this near side, but with the instant layoff on the volley, the cushioned layoff, it just went away and Vecina had read it. Yeah,
as a runner, I was telling you about that Uruguay get great success with. They just didn't do it often enough. The fullback making that late run, the little diagonal over the top, I think he maybe just takes Messi by surprise. Vizinha's having the time of his life here. It looks like he's just going to clear it up. He's chopped back inside once again.
Just done another turn. That's twice he's done it to Lautaro Martinez. As Cape Verde come forward now with Sidney Cabral. 0-0. Enjoying this game here in Miami. They lose the ball though, and Lautaro Martinez picks it up just short of the halfway line. McAllister now. Medina has gone motoring forward from left back. In the end, it was Lisandro Martinez who had to cover a lot of the ground because the fullback was bombing on. They've gone back in field. Centre circle now for McAllister. Messi. Cape Verde have dropped off. This is with McAllister. They said they weren't going to man-mark Messi. They've all got a job to do. This is De Paul. Molina. Tall and lean as a right back. Finds Messi, who finds the space in the centre circle. Runs forward with the ball. Enzo Fernandez out towards Medina, the left back. Crosses, picked up by Pina. Pina can run forward with the ball for Cape Verde. Still it remains goalless. He's got a runner in Mendes away towards his right. He holds on to the ball. Mendes drops off. Gives himself a couple of yards and gets the space away from the left back. And then they're able to pass the ball through the midfield. Giovanni Cabral now for Cape Verde. The whistles because Cape Verde are in possession. 20 minutes played. Another 10-minute block is ticked off there by their coach Babista. Deroy Duarte, the younger brother of Laros. They're playing together, starting together for the first time in this World Cup. How proud must they be, the 26-year-old and the 29-year-old who play in Bulgaria and Hungary respectively. Saying to Kelly earlier that the 26 players play in 13 different countries. As Mendes, diagonal ball out to the left-hand side, and Sidney Cabral, it just bubbled over his outstretched left boot.
Yeah, it's great play, really patient from Cape Verde, and as you mentioned, the whistles, Argentina have had enough. The Argentine fans have had enough of Cape Verde and the little plucky story of Cape Verde. They want their team to be in front, they want to be winning the game, and now they know they want to try and intimidate them as much as they can. But Pina had a chance to force a pass through to Mendes, who'd made a run, but he opts to show a bit of composure and they build the play. And that ball's fired out towards Cabral. It is fired out, there's nothing tentative about it. It just bobbles just above his leg, his foot, as he's trying to control it. But they're showing great composure, Cape Verde, on the ball. There's no rush in the play.
I calculated after the group stages, every club who'd made it to the knockout stages and the amount of rest that they had before their first game in the last 32. And remember, this is the penultimate match of the last 32 ties. Cape Verde had a 7-day rest in comparison to 6 of Argentina, and then he's still made the 5 changes. So they are going to be very, very refreshed as Messi unable to turn. Ball chipped forward, back towards Messi with his back to goal, looks to turn and couldn't turn inside the area. And then the Blue Sharks, as they're known, the Cape Verde players, were able to swarm, and now Pina breaks forward for Cape Verde. Mendes to his right. Moreira joins the attack. Here is the right back now, committing men forward at every opportunity. And we're midway through the first half here in Miami. I can see now pockets of blue sky, so it's just starting to brighten up as well. And they're going to be approaching the drinks break in a really, really good state, Cape Verde, because they've restricted Argentina to one shot. That was Messi. It was a cross goal, and Vizinha hasn't been tested.
No, they'll be absolutely delighted with how this has gone. I know they keep exceeding their own expectation, but surely this is way beyond their expectation. Or maybe we just keep underestimating them, and maybe this is exactly what they planned for.
Messi runs forward. That little chugging action of his from Messi, the little maestro, the genius. It's always a privilege to watch Messi in action, regardless whether it's for his country or at club football. Seen him score some magical goals down the years. As Cape Verde clear long up towards Da Costa. He went to the floor, knocked to the ground, and now this is with Enzo Fernandez, who passes the ball out towards Facundo Medina. Plays for Marseille, the left back. Crossfield ball now as they switch it. Molina opens his leg, chested off towards De Paul on this near side, the right. De Paul with a cross, headed away by Borges, and out it goes for a throw. I think the referee now will signal that this is going to be the drinks break, will he? Yeah, because we are 24 minutes in, and we're going to have a drinks break here in Miami. And it is Argentina 0, Cape Verde 0. James McFadden.
Yeah, and it's been a really good game. As much as we'd like to see some goals and some chances, Cape Verde have come to be difficult to play against when they don't have the ball, for Argentina to break them down, but also to go and play their game with good possession. And as much as they haven't created a chance, they still look like a really good side. They've got great composure. They don't force it. There's no rushing in the passing. They don't look flustered even when they're in possession. And sometimes, yeah, there are slack passes, but that's just normal. But it's been a very interesting game. And when I watched Cape Verde against Uruguay, I was hoping that they would go through and I could get to see them again, because I've really enjoyed what they bring to this tournament, and they've brought it again this evening.
So here's going to test your memory then. We've got an opportunity to do so. When I used to travel around Europe with Peter Lorimer, obviously former Scottish international, I'd say, oh, you scored a goal here, and Peter would go, can't remember that. Couldn't remember goals where he'd scored. Can you remember certain games from when you played? And it's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Do you remember basically coming up against Lionel Scaloni when he was at West Ham?
No, not exactly, no.
Because he made 17 appearances for West Ham in 2006. And I did wonder if you'd ever come up across it, and you did. It was a 2-2 draw between West Ham and Everton. And he was booked with Scaloni. And I just wondered, was he booked for a foul on you? But the fact that you can't remember, you've already given me the answer.
I can't remember. I can't remember playing against them, and I can't remember whether it was me that fell, but let's say it was, right? Who's going to check? Who cares? Yes, he definitely hacked me down. I was running through, I just nutmegged him, flicked over his head, and he'd had enough, so he brought me down.
Little Scaloni, who's looking to emulate Vittorio Pozzo to be the first manager to win 2 World Cups. He did it with Italy in 34 and 38. Argentina, who have had 3 times winners, defending champions, but they have had upsets before at a World Cup. You might remember Cameroon beating them in Italia 90 when they were defending champions. And when they actually lost to Saudi Arabia in Qatar, that was considered a really big upset, because they actually were on an unbeaten run of 36 games when they lost by 2-1. So they'll be hoping to avoid this banana skin against the smallest nation ever to reach the knockout stages as the game restarts after that drinks break. And it remains 0-0. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. This is Medina, the left back. Enzo Fernandez, far side. Back then to Lisandro Martinez. Walks forward in these extremely humid conditions, as you'd expect when we are in Miami. We're actually 13 miles north of the city centre at the Hard Rock Stadium, the home of the Miami Dolphins. Hosted 6 Super Bowls. Opened in 1987, but as the ball goes forward towards Messi. Messi with a control, and Messi with a finish. Lovely first touch by Messi. Ball over the top. He extends his record-breaking run. He has scored in 8 successive games. Lionel Messi, the touch, the finish, and Argentina are 1-0 up.
It's just incredible. Incredible from Messi. This place has erupted. The run that he makes is beyond that back line. The timing of the run's excellent. The way to pass into him is outstanding. His first touch is absolutely exquisite. And the finish, I mean, We know how good he is. He controls it on the half volley with outside his left foot into his path and just pokes it past Fazinha. He's got no chance. That is world class from Lionel Messi.
As you say, the touch is on the outside of his left boot. He doesn't touch the ball then, but he moves his body, and he's then in a position to shape the shot to beat Fazinha inside his near post.
I mean, we know he's special. We know he's special. And that is so hard that he's just made ridiculously easy, made look easy. The touch, to control it like that, it's coming over his left shoulder. He's outside the ball. To get that in the half volley, inch perfect, millimetre perfect into his path, so that he then needs to just straighten up a little bit to just poke it beyond Fazinha. It is top draw from Lionel Messi.
He is just the 4th player to have scored in 5 successive knockout matches at a World Cup. The last player to do so was Vava for Brazil, who did it between 58 and 62. And what is his 30th appearance at a World Cup, the first player to hit 30 appearances. He's 4 clear of Cristiano Ronaldo. The records just keep coming for a true great.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely probably overperformed at this tournament in relation to when he won the World Cup. Many people thought that was going to be his last World Cup. To come in and to have 7 goals already is quite phenomenal. And the quality of the goals that he's scoring, and he's missed a penalty in this tournament. So, yeah, he is slightly human, but I mean, what he has produced so far in this World Cup has been absolutely incredible. All the top players coming and putting in performances. Messi just busting to life for that goal. They're hungry to go and get more. And you can see there is, been a burst of energy right across this Argentina side.
Giovanni Cabral dispossesses Messi, runs forward. There was a push in the back there. That'll be a free kick. Correct me if I'm wrong, was that the first time that they'd gone long?
It's the first time they've gone long into the box. They'd won where they went over the top, but there was a full-back that was coming in, Molina, who then tried to cushion it to Messi. But yeah, it's the first time they've actually had real penetration through, making that run in behind. And it's a narrow pass, it's a difficult pass to get the weight right. The weight of it is perfect, the touch and finish, exceptional.
Sidney Cabral has just, I think it was a cross-come shot, and it was a diagonal ball that sailed well wide of Emi Martinez's goal to his left-hand post as he takes, or gets that to the goal kick from Lisandro Martinez, and they play the ball out at the back. So Argentina are leading by a goal to 0. Romero able to turn away from Nuno da Costa. Ball played forward towards Messi. James has already mentioned it takes him on to 7 in terms of the golden boot, and it's his 20th goal, so he is 2 clear of Kylian Mbappe and his tally of 18. It's this little duel that the two of them have got in terms of the most goals in World Cups. Although for the golden boot, behind Mbappe on 6, you've got Haaland on 5, Kane on 5, Dembele and Vinicius Junior, who are also very much in the frame. Argentina, though, are leading, and here he is again. Messi running forward. Messi passes the ball out towards Molina. Molina passes the ball back. This is an opportunity for Almada, maybe to get the shot, looking to try and get the return ball back by Messi. But he was on the stretch, and they've lost the ball as Cape Verde now with Giovanni Cabral running forward. Short ball towards Da Costa. Challenge, though, came in the centre circle. Centre forward has lost it, and Argentina, leading by a goal to 0, have it back inside the centre circle. James McFadden.
There's a real hunger for Argentina to win the ball back. Cape Verde are still trying to show that composure when they win it back, and there was an opportunity to get Mendes away down the right hand side, but it's just crowded out once again. Energy to go and press and do it in numbers. Certainly the goal has sparked the crowd, but it's sparked Argentina as a team with and without the ball.
This is Lisandro Martinez. McAllister will give it back to him. De Paul Cape Verde now have got everybody back behind the ball. De Paul plays it deep inside the area, brushes off the head of Almada and goes out for a Cape Verde throw. There are just 2 pockets of royal blue, the Cape Verde supporters, and then landed and touched down in Miami. An excitable young boy from Cape Verde just shouted Cabo Verde, because there's so many ways you can pronounce it, isn't it? The cluster of the 10 islands, 350 miles off the west coast of Africa, a population of 560,000. Compare that to the population of Argentina, 47 million. Just to be inside this stadium for Cape Verde, they're able to say, I was there for this historic performance for the World Cup debutants. Trailing though by a goal to nil, as we've got 10 minutes remaining of normal time live on BBC Radio 5 Live. Medina, far side, the left. Lautaro Martinez gets the ball back just in from the touchline. Lisandro Martinez. Egypt, after their penalty shootout success, await the winners. Coming back from an offside position, surely. Yeah, that'll be Molina, free kick. It was 1-1 in Dallas, and they won on penalties, so they will play, in all likelihood, Argentina in Atlanta on Tuesday. They won't have to worry about the stifling heat, as we're having to deal with that here in these sticky conditions, because it'll be air conditioned and it'll be played under the closed roof in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. But Argentina are 1-0 up. We've got 9 minutes of normal time remaining. Laros Duarte finds Deroy Duarte. Back then for the central defender, Borges. Back then it goes to the central defender, Pico Lopez, Roberto Pico Lopez, Dublin born. Created a lot of attention back in Ireland, as you'd expect, as Cape Verde still keep the ball but not really going anywhere midway through their own half. They look for the run of Da Costa and they get a throw just inside the Argentina half. James.
Yeah, they're not finding as much space as they were earlier in the half, and that's due to Argentina putting pressure on them, but they're still showing composure. I really like Kevin Pina and what he does for the side, and how calm he is when he gets the ball. He's never rushed, he's never flustered. Just a great calmness that helps him throughout the side. But Argentina are putting far more pressure on the ball, and there's less space for Cape Verde to find.
He's one of the few actually who've come from the 10 islands to make it through to the national team, as they pick up a loose ball on the far side, and it's with Moreira, the right back. Moreira flashes over the cross, but it was off target, goes out for a goal kick, and it remains Argentina leading 1-0.
They're still trying to play though, even though they've gone a goal down. They're still trying to play their game, Cape Verde.
The first debutants to go unbeaten in 3 group stage matches since Senegal in 2002, who won 1 and drew 2. First nation to progress at a World Cup without actually winning since Chile in '98, who also drew all 3 matches, as Molina didn't keep the ball in play. As Babista, their coach, looking very relaxed with his jeans and his white. Imagine it's a linen shirt in these conditions, just watching on. Still looks relaxed despite his side trailing by a goal to nil. 7 minutes to go to the break. BBC Radio 5 Live. Pina tries to run away from Lautaro Martinez, who snaps away at his heels. The ball then is chipped back towards Moreira. Making himself available is Laros Duarte. Forward ball. Able to pick out his brother Deroy. Out towards Mendes, far side. Again, the Argentinian fans jumping up and down, bobbing as they stand to celebrate. Laros Duarte caught in possession. Pina picks it up again. Forward towards Javari Cabral. That's a good ball. The cross then by Moreira out towards the left back, Sidney Cabral. Inside to Mendes. Mendes with a cross and then cleared on the volley by Medina, the left back for Argentina. And that's a header forward by Pico Lopez as he tried to win that ball, and Argentina get a free kick. Far side to left, leading 1-0.
Oh, that was a good chance for Cape Verde down the right-hand side. Moreira found himself in space. I felt as though the first time cross wasn't the option. He had time maybe to take a touch and try and pick someone out. It looked a bit forced. They managed to keep it alive, and the difficulty they have is they've not got a lot of players in the box to go and pick out. You do feel like it's going to be something special for Cape Verde to equalise, but they still believe they can. You can see that in how they're playing.
For Lionel Messi, he's created another record as well. He's become the oldest South American player to score in the knockout phase of the World Cup at the age of 39 years and 9 days. He surpasses the record that was set by Obdulio Varela of Uruguay in 1954, who was 36 when he scored against England. As McAllister to Molina, the right back, almost at the right corner of the penalty area. McAllister gives it to Molina. Every Argentina player is in the half away towards our right. As at that end of the stadium, we can see the blue skies are increasing. De Paul able to turn 25 yards out from goal to the edge of the area. This is Medina, edge of the area. This is Messi, tries to dink the ball forward, flags raised. Somebody was coming back from an offside position. Free kick.
Yeah, Medina had gone early and the ball wasn't intended for him. So he continued his run down that left-hand side and come back into an offside position. We just got a chance to see Messi's goal on the big screen here again. I mean, that touch is special. Such a special goal from a special player.
But the ball came from so far back, didn't it?
Yeah, he makes his run early, comes off the back of Borges. Timing, it's excellent.
Giovanni Cabral turns away by Molina and then tries to pass the ball in field with the outside of his right boot as he was running down this left touchline, and it was intercepted. And then Enzo Fernandez falls to the surface and gets a free kick from the Canadian referee.
I don't like seeing the fouls for that. He's waiting basically for a foul, Enzo. Slight bit of contact from Duarte, but not enough. He just throws himself to the ground.
It's a nonchalant kick of the ball by Romero, very almost lazy-like as it goes out to that far side. And then still the energy being provided by Nuno da Costa as he tries to press that back line back towards Emi Martinez. Romero then strokes it forward. Molina, the ball from De Paul. Sidney Cabral with a foul on Messi. And Inel Scaloni, I think, saying to the referee, that's the second time now that the left back has attacked Messi in that way, as he plays it early looking for Lautaro Martinez, but Vizinha picks the ball up inside his area and then cradles it as he stays down on the floor.
Yeah, Messi gets fouled, gets up, takes a free kick. Quick play for Lautaro Martinez, and it's always going away, but Vizinha, I'm sure his intention was to try and see it out for a goal kick, and then he senses Martinez putting the pressure on and just picks it up and catches. Little kick in the calf by Lautaro Martinez.
64th in the world rankings, the lowest ranked side at a debut World Cup to reach the knockout stages. It was always going to be a formidable task against the defending champions, who are ranked #1 in the world. I wouldn't say that they've been disgraced in the evidence of this first half.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, they've come and they've tried to be the absolute best.
McAllister leaves it now for Romero, right of the centre circle. Fullbacks are pushed on for Argentina as Lisandro Martinez walks with the ball outside the centre circle. Romero now edges his way forward. Cape Verde drop off, everybody back behind the ball. Enzo Fernandez out towards Medina. Distracted once again by the Albiceleste supporters jumping up and down in unison. Over on that far side of the field as Medina, Enzo Fernandez work the ball back towards Lisandro Martinez. We're inside the last 60 seconds. They're leading by a goal to nil. They're dominating, they're controlling. McAllister, forward ball. Falls, first time shot comes in by Enzo Fernandez and pushed away by Vecina. It was a low right-footed strike. Still the threat remains. Argentina now with Messi. Little flick outside. De Paul passes the ball back. They can almost lull you into a false sense of security and then they just burst into action.
I mean, the goals like that, Messi just makes a run. The pass, it's in a flash. The touch and finish, and that was similar. It's a really good save from Vecina because it was a snapshot. It comes quick. It's fired low and hard. Bounces just in front of him once again, but his reactions are great to keep it out and parry it in away from danger.
Great noise here in Miami as the ball goes towards Messi and it's over his head and it goes out for a goal kick. Doesn't matter where you look, there aren't many Argentinian supporters sitting down. I don't know how much they've paid to get here, whether there's a strong Argentinian community in Miami, but tickets are retailing at something like $3,000. Yeah, but they're going to make the most of this occasion.
They'll always follow their team, follow their country, absolutely. That in itself shouldn't be the case. It should never be that expensive to come and watch a team. But plenty have paid it, paid whatever it takes to be here.
Romero's forward ball. De Paul out towards Molina, back towards De Paul, level with the area. Molina just in from the touchline. This is Enzo Fernandez. Lisandro Martinez. Fernandez towards Messi. Do not write Argentina off from going all the way yet again with the way that they're playing. This is Messi picking a forward ball. Wouldn't run for him, and there was Pina able to intercept his forward ball towards Giovanni Capral, but able to step onto it and win the ball quickly was Romero. They look for Messi once again. He tries to win it back. It's not like he just stands still. He's prepared to come back, put his foot in to win the ball back.
Yeah, I mean, when you watch Messi and throughout the years, it's something he's always done, as he will walk at times to almost just assess what's happening in the game, where he can find space. But you're right, he's getting back in to try and win the ball back. He's leading a press if it's come back to the goalkeeper. It's not a full, high energy press, but he's leading it. But he's so fascinating to see him walking around and then bang, he just busts into life. He's still got the sharpness, clearly his sharpness of mind, but he's still got the first 2 or 3 yards and very, very difficult to defend against.
We're into 4 minutes of a minimum of 4 minutes of added time here in Miami. We've already actually played 2 of them. Argentina is still leading by a goal to nil. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live and the BBC Sounds app. We've got live Formula 1 commentary of the British Grand Prix Sprint. That's on Sports Extra at 11:50 tomorrow. And at 2:30, the second T20, England-India at Old Trafford, will also be on Sports Extra. The final last 32 game is to come at 2:30 in the morning. Lee Blakeman and Clinton Morrison will bring you Colombia against Ghana. That game being played in Kansas City. The winners will take on Switzerland. As the last 16 lineup is almost complete. Egypt against Argentina. Looks like it'll be a date on Tuesday. And the hordes of Argentinians will travel then to Atlanta. Stoppage time, leading by a goal to nil. Still with a scoreline though, you can't necessarily rule out Cape Verde. It did, after all, draw 2-2 against Uruguay, but they have been restricted to literally the odd wild cross. Emi Martinez hasn't had anything to worry about as the half-time whistle sounds here in Miami. 5 Live and the BBC Sounds app, and Argentina are 1-0 up at the break. Your thoughts, James McFadden?
Yeah, well, it's been a game where we've seen the brilliant sheer class of Lionel Messi, but we've also got to see Cape Verde put in a strong performance against a really good Argentina side. Everything I hoped or expected from Cape Verde: solid, organised, calm in possession, come here to play, not with any fear, with total freedom to enjoy and express themselves. But they're behind to a moment of incredible quality from Lionel Messi, and we should never be surprised at 39 years of age, he's still producing these moments of magic on the world stage. It's been an entertaining first half and fascinating without having goals and chances and loads of incident, but it's still been a very, very enjoyable first half of football.
And like you say, it was not just the finish, it was the touch that set him up for the finish that was world class.
Yeah, it was, and it's a touch where if you are coaching now, and there'll be coaches up and down the country that come into this, try and replicate the scenario, and we'll be screaming, control it with your right foot, use both your feet, but we know how special this man's left foot is, and he just makes everything he does, he makes it look so easy. Over his shoulder, on the half volley with it outside his boot, to get it exactly where he needs it to be, to then have the little snapshot finish beyond Vizinha. I mean, it's really, there's nothing that can be done about it. Borges in a good position. He's probably not expecting Messi to run in behind him. Vizinha's come out and closed the angle, hoping for even half a yard of a heavier touch, but it's just perfect for him. Sometimes you just need to applaud that. It's just absolute brilliance from Lionel Messi.
He's been involved in 10 goals in the last 5.5 knockout appearances at a World Cup. He's scored 6, he's assisted 4, and once again he carries the hopes of this nation when he's scored 7 goals at this tournament.
Well, he's a player that we know can produce unbelievable quality, and maybe some people look and say, is it the absolute best Lionel Messi and his peak? No, it's not, because if it was, he'd be dancing in and out of defenders relentlessly. But this team understand they're not carrying Lionel Messi. They are happy to work to get him in the position that he finds himself in, and he's found himself in more often than not in this tournament throughout his Argentina career, to make the difference. They are happy to do the work and make sure that he's able to contribute, and he is contributing. So you can't say, oh, this is a team that maybe, sometimes you can see it where it's detrimental to the side because you've got a moments player that is not producing the moments, but he is still producing the moments. So everyone's happy for him, and you know exactly that it's the right decision, because the fans in the stadium, as soon as he gets on the ball, when he got off the bus, they're up on their feet, they're screaming, they're chanting for him. He is still producing on the biggest stage, and it's just a joy to watch.
That's James McFadden. I'm Ian Dennis. A little later on you'll hear Laura McGee, who will be taking your calls ahead of our next commentary, Colombia against Ghana, here on BBC Radio 5 Live. But as we take a 10-minute breather, and in these stifling conditions we need definitely a breather, here's Nick Hatfield, 5 Live.
UK and the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Thanks, Ian. Good evening. Sir Keir Starmer says his decision to step down as Prime Minister was an intensely personal one, which he took with his family. Speaking exclusively to the BBC, Sir Keir said he'd been a successful Prime Minister and claimed to have saved the Labour Party. He also warned his likely successor, Andy Burnham, will have to spend just as much time on diplomacy and global issues as he has. And we'll bring you some of that interview in just a couple of minutes. 3 men accused of murdering a journalist in Northern Ireland more than 7 years ago have been found not guilty by a court in Belfast. Lyra McKee was fatally shot during rioting in Londonderry. The new IRA, a dissident Republican paramilitary group, said it carried out the killing, but the actual gunman was never found. A Greek man has been found guilty of murdering a Scottish woman in Crete 17 years ago. Jean Hanlon's body was found in water of Heraklion in March 2009. The 54-year-old man was jailed for 10 years. And guests have been arriving at Madison Square Garden in New York for the expected wedding celebrations of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. The singer and American footballer have not confirmed any details about the event, but some streets in central Manhattan have been closed to traffic and fans have gathered nearby, and there's a large number of police officers. Let's get the sports news now. Here's Shabnam Yunus-Jewell.
Thank you, Nick. Well, as you've been hearing, the World Cup latest is that Argentina lead Cape Verde 1-0. Lionel Messi with the goal there, and the winner of that match will face Egypt in the last 16 after the Pharaohs beat Australia on penalties earlier to win their first ever World Cup knockout match. Meanwhile, England's last 16 game against Mexico may be moved forward to 7 p.m. UK time on Sunday. FIFA's understood to be in talks to change the kick-off time of the game, which was 1 a.m. on Monday at the Azteca in Mexico City. Forecasts suggest there could be thunderstorms around that time, but FIFA hasn't yet given any explanation for the rescheduling plans. At Wimbledon, world number one Arina Sabalenka beat Yelena Ostapenko to set up a blockbuster fourth-round meeting with Naomi Osaka. Men's defending champion Yannick Sinner went through after a comfortable win over Jenson Brooksby, while Novak Djokovic made more history as he reached round 4, equalling Roger Federer's men's record of most singles match wins at Wimbledon. And in Formula One, Ferrari's Lewis Hamilton pipped Mercedes' Kimi Antonelli to a stunning pole position for the sprint race at the British Grand Prix. Red Bull's Max Verstappen was third fastest, while Mercedes' George Russell, who's 40 points adrift of championship leader Antonelli, was a disappointing fifth behind Ferrari's Charles Leclerc.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
It is a mouth-watering prospect, isn't it? But let's bring you the very latest news this morning.
What is the immediate impact? Tell me what you know, please.
Let's look at these alarming figures today.
I'm coming to you live from outside number 10 Down Street.
Let's get straight to our top story.
How much concern is there from you and your members about all of this?
The voice of the UK.
What do you want to see happen? Now the dust has somewhat settled, what do we think?
What is interesting about this particular payment is it does count as interest.
BBC Radio 5 Live.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is the voice of the UK. BBC Radio 5 Live.
We'll be heading back to Miami very shortly to get the second half commentary of Argentina versus Cape Verde with Ian Dennis. But let's get more now on Sir Keir Starmer's exclusive interview with the BBC, his first since announcing his resignation. The Prime Minister says his decision to step down was an intensely personal one and taken with his wife and children. Sir Keir has been speaking to our chief political correspondent, Henry Zeffman.
Your wife was by your side during the last few weeks, which have clearly been very difficult for you. When was the moment that the two of you, I think as a pair, decided it was over?
Well, it was tough. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Really, really tough. As I grappled with what was the best thing to do for me, for the country, for the government. And those discussions inevitably start with many discussions with colleagues, with parliamentary colleagues, with the team here, with my immediate advisors, with trade unions, so many people in that discussion. But for me, and this may be different for other people, in the end, it became an intensely personal decision. And that's why it was a decision taken ultimately when Vic and I were away with the kids. We went to Chequers and just spent 2 days together as a family. And that's when I came to my final decision. And it wasn't that I didn't want other advice at that stage. I'd had plenty of conversations. But when you are taking the decision to step down from the role as Prime Minister, taking the decision that your political career is over, it is an intensely personal matter, or at least it was for me. And I wanted to do that with Vic, and that's what I did.
Well, the Prime Minister was also asked about his meteoric rise to the top job.
As you described earlier, you came to politics later than most. You've had an incredibly successful life. 11 plus, 2 great universities, DPP at a relatively young age. You come to politics, and I think you've said before you thought you might be Ed Miliband's Attorney General. Instead, you're leader of the Labour Party within 5 years, Prime Minister within 9. It must be difficult that clearly the last 2 years ultimately haven't gone as you'd hoped.
Well, the way I see it is this. I didn't come into politics in order to be the Prime Minister. I came in because I wanted to be part of something that would change millions of lives for the better. I stepped up as leader of the Labour Party after the 29 election, and so the way I'd put it is the Labour Party arguably could have been lost, but I stepped up as leader, and with others we saved the Labour Party. We returned it as an electoral force, won a general election, and then in 2 years have started the important work of change and left the country in a materially better state than it was 2 years ago. So yes, look, in answer directly to your question, did I want it to end at this point in this way? No, I didn't, but I accept that with good grace.
Sir Keir also promised to keep his mouth shut once his successor is appointed, and he said that he'd always got on well with Andy Burnham, who's the favourite to replace him, of course. The Prime Minister stressed the importance of balancing domestic and international issues.
If you're Prime Minister and you care what bills are going to be like in any household around the country, you have to care about finding a lasting solution to the situation in Ukraine. You have to care about what happens in the Strait of Hormuz. And that's why I am proud that when other countries have looked to the sort of group of countries that's needed to work on these, they've looked to the UK and to France and Germany for the work on Ukraine in particular, the coalition of the willing, and they've looked again to France and the UK when it comes to the work that needs to be done on reassurance in the Strait of Hormuz. And that is, I am proud of the fact that the UK is now regarded as a leader, a country that others look to and want to engage with, and that is in our best interests here at home. You can't. It's not sensible to think you can just separate these two things out.
Because there are those in your party, and you probably know this, who think that the next Prime Minister could spend less time on diplomacy than you have. You're saying pretty clearly that's not possible.
No, I don't think it is possible, and I've given you the example of Ukraine and the Strait of Hormuz. I can give you plenty of other examples. The deal we did with the US that safeguarded all the jobs at JLR up in the Midlands.
It's integral to the domestic picture.
Before we did that deal, I went to see the workforce and looked them in the eyes. They were really worried because of the threatened tariffs that they were going to lose their jobs. And I went back to them immediately. We did the deal with President Trump, and they were so relieved because they knew for them, their families, their communities, it was a massive deal. So this suggestion you can really, in the modern era, simply split up international and domestic is just, it just doesn't make sense. It isn't true. It isn't right.
That's Sir Keir Starmer, who was speaking exclusively to the BBC's Henry Zeffman. Before we hand back to the football, the highly anticipated wedding between Taylor Swift and the American football player Travis Kelce is expected to take place today in New York. Speculation about the ceremony has been building ever since the couple got engaged last August. Fans have been gathering outside the rumoured venue, Madison Square Garden, for a chance to see Kelce and Swift, whose worldwide Eras tour is the highest grossing concerts tour in history. Our North America correspondent Neda Tawfik reports.
It's been called the wedding of the century. Global superstar Taylor Swift and three-time Super Bowl champion Travis Kelce are attracting the kind of attention usually reserved for royal weddings. The couple are expected to welcome 1,000 guests tonight at Madison Square Garden for an event that's estimated to have cost $20 million, although the couple have not publicly confirmed anything. After a smaller, intimate pre-party of around 100 guests last night, tonight's main celebration is far bigger. Though the list hasn't been officially announced, celebrities spotted in New York include Dua Lipa, Ed Sheeran, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and Graham Norton, who snagged an invite on his show. A uniting of the worlds of entertainment, sport, and fashion to celebrate what has moved beyond a love story to become a cultural phenomenon.
My invite must have got lost in the post. This is Nick Hatfield with the 5 Live News. We can cross now back to Ian Dennis and James McFadden in Miami for second half commentary of Argentina versus Cape Verde.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, the two teams are yet to come out. But if you were listening to 5 Live earlier on, you'll have heard that Kelly was talking to John Murray and Paul Robinson about the possibility that the England-Mexico game was going to be moved 6 hours to a midday start in Mexico. But we've had it confirmed from a FIFA official that the kickoff time will remain the same. So that means that on Monday, or the early hours of Monday, it'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff in the morning. It'll be live on 5 Live. It is live on BBC One, but also what the BBC are going to do, there will be a spoiler-free watch again on the iPlayer from 6 o'clock in the morning, and the match will also be replayed at BBC Two at 7:10. We obviously couldn't say that earlier whilst there was still that element of confusion, but just to confirm that the kick-off time will remain the same, and basically the BBC, whether you want to stay up late, listen to it late, we'll have it covered for you, whether you want to watch it live or watch it spoiler-free on delay in the morning. So that's the breaking news on BBC Radio 5 Live, as the second half is going to soon be underway here in Miami. And I'm just wondering as well, James, as if to see if there's been any changes by either side, and it would appear that there has not.
No, I don't think so. The other breaking news is I've looked at the match report for that game, and Scaloni cleared one off the line from one of my shots.
Oh, did he?
But I don't remember it, so I'll let him off.
I wondered why you were so quiet during the 10-minute break. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live. We're available on the BBC Sounds app to take you into the early hours for the second half of this game, where the threat of disruption appears to have diminished, and Argentina are leading Cape Verde by 1-0. So Argentina in this second half in their white and sky blue striped shirts and their white shorts are playing from right to left. And they have Emi Martinez in goal, a back four of Molina, Christian Romero, Lisandro Martinez and Facundo Medina at left back, Rodrigo de Paul, Alexis McAllister, Enzo Fernandez, Thiago Almada, Lautaro Martinez and the goal scorer Lionel Messi. 1-0. As for Cape Verde, in the all-navy blue, Vecina is in goal, Steven Moreira, Pico Lopez, Dini Borges, Sidney Cabral, that's the defence. The midfield of Ryan Mendes, Laros Duarte, Kevin Pina, Deroy Duarte and Giovanni Cabral, and Nuno da Costa leads the line for the Blue Sharks, who trail by 1-0 now under the clear blue skies of Miami on this sultry evening in Florida. 1-0, Argentina in possession. Out then to Almada, little touch there for Medina, and then back into the centre circle for Romero, who can just carry the ball forward, and he looks there for De Paul, who passes the ball out to Messi, stands still. Almada has made that run to the right-hand side of the penalty area, unable though to turn, and it goes out of play, and it will be to Cape Verde with a throw. James.
Yeah, I've just watched Messi since kick-off, and that's the first time he's actually broken out of a half-pace walk. He's just walked around, waiting for the ball to find him, and then he springs into life. Even when he passed it, he's just so calm, flicks it forward, and then decides I'm going to go and try and get on the end of it.
This is Mendes, back to Pina. Little touch there by Deroy Duarte. Giovanni Cabral comes in field, looks for the run of Steven Moreira. He'll keep the ball in play, Moreira. He's done well. Pulls it back. Da Costa was his first touch. Took him away off, he ballooned away off his right boot. They were looking to get a throw. Needed a better touch than that, didn't it?
It did. It was good play. Moreira set free down the right-hand side. And I know it's fired in at him, but I even thought as it comes in, can he maybe just try and get it goal-bound? I know he's quite far out.
Sidney Cabral with the cross, blocked, and it will go out of behind for a corner kick to Cape Verde. You're really looking for something from a set piece, aren't you, in this situation?
Yeah, I think that even Moreira going down the right-hand side, he's got one option, it's Da Costa. It's the only option he has. He picks him out really well. But you feel that they have to try and take advantage of this.
So corner kick to Cape Verde, who trail by a goal to nil. From the far side, the left, it's an outswinger. Headed away by Lisandro Martinez. And then the shot takes a deflection. It was hit first time by Giovanni Cabral. I think the block was an important one by De Paul, who got something on it. He seemed to strike it quite true.
Yeah, and you can see with his reactions after it, that he feels that he's got a good connection on it. I mean, there's a lot of Argentina players down the line of it. And he feels that that's a decent strike. Just bounces to him the edge of the box, steps on it, hits the first time. The block may well have been crucial. You still need to beat a top-class goalkeeper in Emi Martinez.
Sidney Cabral to take it. Near side the right, an outswinger towards the far post. They've got in each other's way, two Cape Verde players. But one of them has stayed down. It was as a shot is put back in by Sidney Cabral on this near side.
I think it's Giovanni Cabral.
Giovanni Cabral. Trying to see who the... Yeah, it was Giovanni Cabral.
Yeah.
And then it was Borges who was up from the back, wasn't it, who ran into each other?
Yeah, Cabral's leapt early, he's got hang time. It looks like he's coming onto it. Borges is running back the way just to get anything onto it. Borges heads it and Cabral's momentum takes him in where it's a clash of heads, but didn't look worse, you know, from our viewpoint rather than seeing it back on the screen here in front of us.
1-0 still. Argentina lead. Vecina in yellow. 4-year-old goalkeeper. Pina finds Moreira. Vico Lopez will chip the ball forward towards Da Costa. Wouldn't stick, couldn't get hold of it. Goes behind him, and that is with Romero. And now Enzo Fernandez. Medina on this near side, the left back. Enzo Fernandez won, of course, the Club World Cup with Chelsea in the United States last summer. With a nice gentle walking pace. Romero touches the ball to Lisandro Martinez. Fernandez comes short to collect it. Medina wants the ball to feet near side the left. He goes 10 yards in field. McAllister rolls the ball gently, laid off by Molina. Romero comes onto it now, passes the ball in field. Pressure will come from Mendes. They go through the middle. Lautaro Martinez battles for it, dispossessed as he falls to the ground. And now it is with Deroy Duarte to come forward over the halfway line. Sidney Cabral has gone forward. He's found at the left back by a little touch by Giovanni Cabral. They've advanced midway through the Argentinian half. They're still trailing by a goal to nil after eliminating Uruguay and Saudi Arabia. They were one of the surprise sides in the group stages. The major surprise, actually, as Argentina, the Group J winners, one of the three teams to qualify with a 100% winning record. Mexico and France were the other two. Cape Verde second in Group H with the 3 points, and still their supporters. Pocket of royal blue high up away towards our right, one immediately behind the goal, again at that end, dancing. But overwhelmingly outnumbered by this magnificent Argentinian support, as Messi with a ball over the top, and unable to control the ball was Molina, who'd made a marauding run from right back, and it was stabbed out for a goal kick by his right boot.
Yeah, I mean, he has it full stretch, but what a pass from Messi. Picks up in the halfway line, hits the diagonal. Molina's made the run. Probably Argentina probably hoping that was the other way around, given Messi's touch for his goal.
I mean, some of the goals that he's scored, I mean, he's leading the race for the Golden Boot now with 7. But the touch, the finish, you know, you'll marvel at Messi, and these goals will be shown time and time again in years and years to come, as Lisandro Martinez is forced to run by Nuno da Costa. First time really that he's probably had to extend himself in a bit of a foot chase as he made that run into the inside left channel of the Argentina half. Cape Verde have it. They'll pass the ball back out towards Mendes on this near side. Moreira has gone into an inverted role. Then he makes the run on the outside. Here is Moreira with the cross. Again, it was a poor touch, but the shot comes in from Deroy Duarte. Whether he struck it cleanly, I'll leave that one for James McFadden to tell you about, but it was low, it was left-footed, and it certainly forced Emi Martinez into his first save of the game.
Yeah, it's gone through a lot of bodies as well, and again, it's Da Costa. Both of us had the same reaction when the ball comes up to him. He miscontrols it, but actually it works in Cape Verde's favour, because Duarte steps on it, catches it well with his left foot, and Martinez is having to scramble down to his left-hand side. It's a good save from him, one you expect him to make, but a little glimmer of hope for Cape Verde. The only thing for me is Da Costa's control. I don't know if I'm expecting too much of him, but just get it under control rather than... It's as if he's trying to control the ball into the path where he wants to go, rather than just concentrate on that touch, that control, and then you can make a move after it, because clearly the last two times he's tried to do it, he's not able to do it.
James McFadden with us on BBC Radio 5 Live, and that's just the third shot on target that Argentina have faced at this World Cup as they lead by a goal to nil. I would imagine that Pedro Babusta Brito, their coach of Cape Verde, will make a change around the hour mark, and I'm basing that on the evidence that Da Costa, his 3 substitute appearances in the group stages, he came on for the last 29 against Spain, the last 32 against Uruguay, and then the last 29 against Saudi Arabia. The 35-year-old, as this is De Paul coming forward in towards the penalty area, couldn't control it, scooped away only as far as Messi. Enzo Fernandez, Medina on the overlap, back to Enzo Fernandez, left corner of the area, wriggles free for Argentina. Inside, they're looking for Messi with his back to goal, he stumbles, and then Cape Verde should get the ball clear, but they opt to pass the ball back towards Vecina, who I noticed didn't want to turn away from Messi as he did to Lautaro Martinez twice in the first half.
It looked like he thought about it as well, and then he must have noticed it was Messi and thinking, yeah, he's not going to dive in, is he? I better get rid. And also it was on his left foot, but no, it looked like he fancied trying something there, then thought better of it, and I think that is the right decision.
Yeah, he was extremely wise to do that. Incidentally, about Da Costa, he won his first cap 10 years ago, 2016, but then he had to wait until 2025, so he's only had 13 appearances for his country, who plays in for Istanbul Başakşehir, as Cape Verde trail by a goal to nil. But maybe Argentina, just as a warning, that the smallest nation are still very much in this tie, trailing by a goal to nil. Moreira stands on the ball. That was unfortunate, as it allowed Medina to get hold of it. He looked for a free kick, not awarded by the Canadian referee Drew Fisher. And here is Pina. Might just give them a little confidence as well, that strike from Deroy Duarte.
Yeah, I mean, it gives them a glimmer of hope that they can potentially equalise. I like watching Pina. He plays at his own pace. He's never rushed, he's never flustered, he's always available. Great composure on the ball. Really enjoyed watching Pina.
It's been very effective, hasn't he, that defensive midfielder. It's one of the few players who've started every game. There he is in the defensive midfielder, but he sees the danger. He sees that Enzo Fernandez has gone to the ball there, so he tracks him. And then it's with Lautaro Martinez back to McAllister. In the sweltering conditions here, the stifling conditions of Miami. But they'll be looking at Atlanta for the last 16 against Egypt, a quarter-final in Kansas, and then a semi-final in Atlanta. Potentially could be England, although I know we're getting ahead of ourselves. England, incidentally, commentary of that game against Mexico, but after all the hoo-ha and all the debate, the original kickoff, it seems, still applies. So 1 o'clock in the morning, BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Television for that. And a reminder, for every BBC TV game, you can listen to the 5 Live commentaries. Gives you an option through the iPlayer and the BBC Sport website. Moreira threads the ball forward. Da Costa tried to lay it off. Stopped. Chip forward then by De Paul towards Messi. He lifts it forward, but Pico Lopez had read it. Passes the ball forward to Laros Duarte inside the centre circle. Coming forward now is Pina towards Da Costa. Holds it up well and lays it off towards Moreira. The right back joins the attack. This now is with Mendes. Cape Verde only trailing by a goal to nil, and we're approaching the hour mark. They are going to make a couple of changes. I said that Babista, true to form, around the hour mark. Here though is Deroy Duarte. His ball in field was intercepted by Lautaro Martinez, dropping back to help out, but they've got it back of Cape Verde. This is Moreira out to Mendes. Mendes on the right hand side, and the shot is in. Deroy Duarte, the smallest nation ever to reach the knockout stages, have got an equaliser against the defending champions. And the fairy tale story of this World Cup continues. What a moment for the 26-year-old. And Cape Verde have stunned the Argentinian supporters here in Miami. Oh my word, 1-1.
Unbelievable. The little pockets of Cape Verdean fans jumping up and down to the right hand side, and wow, they've managed to get a goal, and what a goal it is. Great quality. There were a couple of times where they've got themselves a wide area, there's one option in the box, and it looks like the cross is going to come in from Mendes, but he just spots Duarte in a great position, little half space in between full-back and centre-back. He's at the angle, he takes a good first touch, out his feet, fires it through the legs of Lisandro Martinez. Emi Martinez got absolutely no chance. The fairy tale continues. Cannot believe Cape Verde have scored in this game, but the fans over there are going absolutely mental.
He plays for Ludogorets in Bulgaria. Twice capped by the Dutch under-21s in 2019. It's his first goal for Cape Verde on his 37th appearance. And the 26-year-old has got a moment that he will dine out for the rest of his life.
Absolutely. I mean, normally when it's the smaller nations, there's a hero of the tournament. You had Vizinha in the first game, you had Pina that they scored the first goal, and then now you've got Duarte, who has somehow managed to score against not only in the knockout stage, against Argentina, who are of course Argentina, but they're the current world champions. Oh, I mean, could this get any better for Cape Verde?
Yes, it could. It really could. 1-1. And Argentina with Lionel Scaloni, he's been prompted to make a double change, so Julian Alvarez and Nicolas Gonzalez are going to be coming on. And Cape Verde now will defend for their lives. They too are going to make that double change. Don't think it actually happened during the goal celebration, but they're going to bring Jamiro Montero on, who's a key midfielder, as Argentina are attacking. Medina heads the ball in. Pina, nice touch, not phased at all, in between two Argentina players. One of them was Messi, had a little glance over his right shoulder and hooked the ball away.
And we're not surprised, given the showing that he's put on tonight. Pina, so composed, so calm, and once again there, making sure that he gets the touch first to get a better attempt to get the clearance, which he does.
Going to be two attacking changes that Cape Verde are going to make. As the ball laid off by Messi. Messi's inside the penalty area. Good save by Vizinha. Comes back towards Messi, and it goes behind. Vizinha, who kept out Spain in the opening group game, now keeping out Lionel Messi, and it remains 1-1.
I thought it was in. Great play from Messi. Sharp. Little 1-2, quick burst through. It's on his right foot, and he just fires it straight at Vizinha. Don't know if he's trying to go. It's quite a wide stance, Vizinha, whether he's trying to just squeeze it through his legs, but it's high and into his midriff.
Here come the changes then, before the corner kick can be taken. And it is Lautaro Martinez that is going to go off. Alvarez will come on for him. He actually scored his first goal in the World Cup with that penalty against Jordan. But Alvarez comes on for his fourth appearance. And Gonzalez also comes on. Nico Gonzalez, his first finals, he withdrew just days before the final in Qatar. Cape Verde not making the change. In comes the corner kick, dropped by Basinha, and it was patted down and gathered in. And it was Thiago Almeida who goes off for Nicolas Gonzalez. So Alvarez and Gonzalez are on. That's the double change made by Argentina, 1-1. 63 minutes played. And we've got a story.
Well, we had a story before the game, and you kept speaking about ticking off the little box of minutes. Then Argentina score, and you think, right, OK, maybe the fairy tale's over. But at no point have they panicked. They've never got away from what they are. Again, I said at the start, I was looking forward to seeing them because they've come here to enjoy themselves and show the best version of themselves, and they've done that in abundance. They've been difficult to break down, they've been hard to play against, but they've been controlled and composed in possession, and they've managed to go and score a goal that changes the whole course of this game.
McAllister finds Messi. Messi to Gonzalez, left-hand side of the penalty area. Gonzalez looks to deliver the cross, unable to do so. Held up by Moreira, helped out by Mendes, slides into the challenge. Ball picked up by Gonzalez, 64.5 minutes played. BBC Radio 5 Live. Argentina, the defending champions, being held here by Cape Verde, 1-1. Medina. Back then towards Enzo Fernandez. McAllister back with Fernandez once more. Still not hurried. Still, it's gentle tempo to the way that Argentina are passing the ball, stroking it around from side to side. McAllister forward, Gonzalez chests the ball to the edge of the area and cleared away on the half volley. I think that was Laros Duarte. How proud must he be of his younger brother? If Basinha thought that he was the cult hero for his heroics against Spain, they produced another one here in Leroy Duarte with the equalising goal against the defending champion. 65 minutes played. McAllister trundles his way forward, out towards the far side. De Paul now takes over midway through the Cape Verde half. Lisandro Martinez. Alvarez drops short, back it goes towards the former Manchester City man. There's no way through. Just a body of navy blue shirts. As Molina, patient play by Argentina. They scored just after the drinks break in the first half. Lionel Scaloni watching on. As the ball is chipped forward, Gonzalez off the chest, pulls it back, and then a little scissor kick by Enzo Fernandez. Right-footed, slices it, goal kick. We're going to have, I think, the drinks break now, are we? No, we're going to have the double change instead that Cape Verde are going to make. Remember, they've got to come off the field in 10 seconds. So Da Costa will be going off. Dalen Livramento will replace him. That will be like for like. Livramento for Costa. And then Montero is going to be coming on, and I think it's Laros Duarte who's gone off.
Yeah, no.
They've strengthened the midfield because Ramiro Montero, he's the playmaker, he's the key figure. He had his first cap a decade ago. He'd made 3 starts. So they've actually strengthened their midfield by that change.
Yeah, they started the game. I watched here against Uruguay. And they do. I mean, this is not just an 11 that have come here and they've managed to somehow find themselves in this situation. As you mentioned, the coach has made changes. He's made brave changes in game, attacking changes to go and try and win the games. He hasn't been able to do that quite yet.
Messi picks up the ball, then he's had his shirt pulled. Pina, that's a yellow card. I don't think he can have any complaints about that. Had hold of the shirt, Messi falling forward, pulled it back over almost over his head. free kick. James McFadden.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone and speaking to the referee there about potentially something that happened in the lead-up. I didn't see what happened. He's unhappy about something, but he totally deserves the yellow card. He's got a handful of Messi's shirt, stopped my promise in attack, and probably a good decision because Messi's 32 yards from goal roughly. If he takes another couple of steps, we've seen what he's capable of in this tournament.
Well, this is a shade over 30 yards out from goal, but it's extremely central. Messi adjusts the ball. De Paul is also there. But Lionel Messi, hands on hips, waits. 4 on the wall for Cape Verde. Midway through the second half, 1-1. Messi into the top of that wall. Rebounds, bouncing ball towards the penalty area. The bounce of the ball actually didn't do Medina any favours and allowed Montero to try and put under pressure. Of course, the substitute has got lots of energy. He's going to be run himself ragged for the next 20-odd minutes here in Miami. If they could take the defending champions to extra time.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because of the way that they've performed. Surely Argentina will find a way.
We said at the start, is this where the story ends? Not at the moment. It is, though, still unthinkable to think that the defending champions could lose to Cape Verde, but stranger things have happened. As Gonzalez picks up the ball, but easily read by Borges, the central defender, just to clear it away downfield, and then he ushers everybody out, navy blue. Emi Martinez, the Argentinian goalkeeper, passes the ball forward towards Romero. They still don't look panicky, though, they, at this stage, though, Argentina.
No, they won't force it.
Here is Enzo Fernandez running forward, left-hand side of the area. Down towards the byline he goes. Gonzalez is in close proximity. This is Alvarez. Alvarez to the edge of the area. Montero there is snapping away. Stroke ball inside by Alessandro Martinez. Floated forward, looking towards Messi. Borges read it, running back, heads the ball away, the central defender. Clearance only as far as De Paul. Looks for Gonzalez, but Mendes battles for it. They've got plenty of energy, they keep on going, but they haven't got the ball because Argentina have it with 19 minutes remaining. Out it goes then towards Gonzalez. Still 1-1 on 5 Live and the BBC Sounds app. Colombia, Ghana to come at 2:30 in the morning here on 5 Live. Sandro Martinez, Gonzalez. A ball delivered with purpose to the feet of the winger on this near side. Hook back. Alvarez touches it, Messi onto it, edge of the area, dives forward, gets a direct free kick. This is certainly within shooting distance, right on the edge of the penalty area, left of centre, 19 minutes remaining.
Yeah, he just gets his body across first, Messi takes the first touch, his right foot across, and he is brought down from Duarte. Alvarez just couldn't get the ball clear. Get clear enough to get a shot away, I should say.
The Argentinian supporters, thousands of them that have packed out this stadium here in Miami. There must be over 60,000 of them in this ground that holds just over 64,000. Probably even over 62, if we're being realistic, with the Cape Verde supporters. And in almost in anticipation, some of them bare-chested behind that goal, punching the air, chanting, willing Messi to score this goal with a free kick. Or is he the decoy, and will it be Alvarez who just stands to the left? Vecina wants 5 in the wall. They've got somebody also in the draft excluder role. Argentina have got their own wall as Messi looks to take it, and Vecina makes the save. He took it quite quickly, left-footed. It was curling away from Vecina, who on his toes, and he points to the side of his head, does Vecina, saying, concentrate, concentrate. He was alert, he made the save, pushed it behind, corner kick, 1-1.
He was alert, but he was still trying to line his wall up. That's why Messi goes for it, and he goes for precision rather than power. But Vecina has shown great athleticism and agility to scramble across and keep it out the back of the net.
Corner kick, far side the right. It's an away swinger, downward header. Alessandro Martinez couldn't get on the end of it from Romero. and it goes out for a goal kick. And with 73 minutes of normal time played, now we have the drinks break here in Miami. And Cape Verde, who were just the fourth side to draw their first three matches, their first ever three matches at a World Cup. Wales, Cameroon and Ireland, the other three sides, but only Ireland drew their fourth against Romania in 1990, Italia 90. Cape Verde are threatening to do that.
Yeah, they are. They're more than threatening. I think that, you know, Argentina have had a couple of sighters at goal in the last 5 minutes or so. But this must be beyond their dreams, Cape Verde. Coming here, competing with Argentina. Vizinha's had a couple of good saves, but he's not been overworked. It's not been that, you know, Argentina have had chance after chance after chance. And Cape Verde have managed to score a really good goal on their own. They will believe they can take this to extra time. And I think they can. Argentina, of course, have the quality to settle this game before then, but this is a Cape Verde side that have defied the odds to be here, and they keep defying them every single time they step on that pitch. Every minute of every game, it's just defiance from Cape Verde. They're standing up to it again. Amazing addition to the World Cup, and they'll be hoping that can last a little bit longer.
Oh, incredible. In Russia 2018, when Russia knocked out Spain in the last 16 on penalties, Russia at the time were ranked 70 in the world, Spain were ranked 10 in the world. But that is still recognised as one of the upsets that is up there with Senegal beating France, South Africa beating France. You go back to 66, North Korea beating Italy at Ayers Park. Cameroon, when Argentina were the defending champions in Italia 90. But this would top the lot.
Oh, I mean, in my opinion, it's not even close. An island nation of 500,000 people to come and defy the odds to get here. And I said this earlier, they did win the qualification group. It's not by chance that they're here. They're here on merit. They then go into a tough group, hold Spain, current European, goes himself to the... And then they get the result they need in the last game to put them into this tie, which a lot of people will maybe saying this is right end of the road, it's Argentina. If, and it's a big if, Cape Verde were to knock out Argentina, that would be the greatest shot in World Cup history.
I agree. The drinks break is over. The clock keeps ticking. 14 minutes of normal time remain, but you can add on another 3 of that for that drinks break, then the substitutions. Argentina, 7 of their last 13 knockout ties have gone to extra time. That quarter-final against the Netherlands and the final in Qatar against France, of course. But didn't see this one. Here is Montero, foul, gets a free kick midway through the Argentina half. I giggle nervously because it strikes me that at this stage Cape Verde aren't thinking of extra time.
No, they're not. I don't think they have been. I think that this is the way they play the game. They're solid, they've got a great structure, they're organised, they work hard as a team, and they've got players that the forward players will work in that structure, but they also want to be attacking. They want to go and try and, you know, defy the odds. It's how they play. The goal they score is real quality as well.
Cape Verde have got a free kick. Argentina have got everybody back in and around their own penalty area. Montero stands over this. They've got width as options. They've got Giovanni Cabral to the left, Montero the right back, but it's going to be a long-range effort that in the end comes in from Borges. That was ambitious.
Yeah, Pina takes a shot. He scored one against Uruguay, but it was about 15 yards closer. The ball splits and Muslera, 40 years old, struggles to get back across, but he does catch it well. So this is the point I'm making about they're here to have fun. They're here to be competitive. They're here to have fun. And how likely is it that he's going to score from there? Quite unlikely. We're talking about into one of the world's best goalkeepers at present. But he believes he can score.
It's astonishing. Cape Verde, they joined FIFA in 1986 as they battled for the ball with Livramento on this near side, and Lisandro Martinez knows he's in for a tussle. They win the ball now inside the Argentina half. It remains 1-1. This is Mendes. They're going to make another double change. We're going to be seeing Willy Semedo coming on, who's a forward. And I'm just trying to see who the other player is going to be coming on as well. He's just tying up his boots down below. But Vista, their coach, he was a central defender for Cape Verde when international football was really regional football, when he made his debut in 1995.
It's Varela that's coming on.
Varela, the midfielder from Maccabi Tel Aviv. Gonzalez bursts after the ball, crosses the ball into the area. Good header away by Sidney Cabral, the left back. And now here comes the double change for Cape Verde. The Argentinian supporters, I think some of them are still stunned, still a little bit wandering around in disbelief as Ryan Mendes goes off. So Ryan Mendes, the only Centurion after his 102nd appearance for Cape Verde, is replaced by Willy Semedo. And also Giovanni Cabral is the player who's coming off. He was told to hurry up. He was dawdling. You're not allowed to do that. You've got 10 seconds, otherwise you're in bother. But Varela comes on for him for his third appearance at this World Cup. Last 32 against Uruguay, last 19 against Saudi Arabia, all off the bench. He knows what role he has to play. 10 minutes remain of normal time. Argentina, the defending champions, being held by Cape Verde.
Well, Varela was brought on when they were 2-1 down against Uruguay, and he got the equaliser, so it's not a defensive change in the slightest.
Well, he takes up that position on the far side. Livramento still leads the line. Cape Verde with those changes. They're well drilled, they're organised, they've had time to prepare for this game, and they're doing very, very well. Alvarez, little flick inside. Messi still going, edge of the area, passes the ball out wide, shot comes in. Oh, and that was Pico Lopez, who, with a goal-saving intervention, sliding back, diverts the ball behind for a corner kick.
I don't know how he's done it, because it looks like there's only one place the ball can go, and that's in the back of the net.
Taking the corner quickly, in comes the cross, right corner of the area, downward header, cleared away, downfield, and that is played back by Molina. And then that's a heavy touch by Enzo Fernandez. He's ballooned it straight out of play for a throw far side. James McFadden.
Yeah, I mean, Pico Lopez, the defending there. Messi does really well. What's the overload down the right-hand side? It's flashed across, and he has to make the intervention, Lopez. But I still don't know how he's managed to turn it round the post from there. It's a certain own goal. Somehow he's managed to keep it out. Tremendous from him.
What a performance this has been by Cape Verde. Messi picks it up right-hand side, drifts infield, accelerates, passes the ball then towards Lisandro Martinez. Gonzalez on this near side, yet still Cape Verde in their navy kit keep their shape, working hard, still have the same structure. They're not being pulled about here. This isn't Argentina knocking on the door. Yes, Argentina have got the possession, and they are dominating in that respect, but they're not creating chances at will.
No, and the success they had is pretty similar to Uruguay, where they're playing those balls in behind, there's runners, and they're finding them. On a couple of occasions it's worked for them again in the second half, but they've just not done it enough, and that seems to be a weakness from Cape Verde. If you play it in front of them, they can shuffle across, they can close those gaps, and they become difficult then to play through. So if you can't go through them, go over them. And when Argentina have done it, they've had some success, none more so than the goal they scored, but they just haven't done it often enough.
No. Thinking other chances He's made a couple of good saves, but you wouldn't say that Vecina has been overworked as he was against Spain.
Nowhere near it. He had a good save against Messi, but he comes out, closes the angle. Messi should score.
Here is Messi, little touch inside. Ball played out towards Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a cross, but again, Cape Verde defending in numbers. Pina was back there behind it, goes for a corner kick.
They do so well. They just narrow up, make sure there's no way through them, force it going to wide areas, and when the cross comes in, as we've just seen from the right-hand side, Pico Lopez gets himself the right position. He's down the line of the cross to go and to prevent it, and Borges in that occasion, exact same, force it wide, get yourself down the line of the cross.
Messi with the corner kick, it's an outswinger, climbing was Lisandro Martinez. The supporters more than the players were appealing for handball. Argentina have made a change. Leandro Paredes has come on to replace De Paul in the midfield. Last 8 against Austria, started against Jordan, third appearance at this World Cup. Fresh legs in the midfield. Lisandro Martinez is having a word with the referee saying, are you checking that? Armando Villarreal, who's the United States official, of course they'll check it anyway. VAR always do that, but there didn't seem to be much from the Argentinian players.
No, I think they're looking for when the cross comes in, it may well, they're claiming it come off Lopez Cabral's arm as it bounced into the box. I'm not so sure.
You've just tuned us, just tuned into 5 Live with some 5 minutes remaining of normal time. Cape Verde are still holding the defending champions. 1-1. They are just the 3rd debut nation to meet the defending champions in the knockout stages of a World Cup. Norway in 1938 lost to Italy by 2-1. Ghana lost in 2006 to Brazil 3-0. Argentina took the lead. Moment of magic from Messi. Cape Verde remained in the game, took their chance through a well-taken goal from Deroy Duarte, and are now dreaming of extra time. As Argentina are making a change, and that is at left back. It is Nicolas Tagliafico who comes on to replace Medina at left back. Like-for-like change. Came on as a late substitute against Austria, started the game against Jordan. Did the left back, the World Cup winner from 4 years ago, extremely reliable, plays his football now for Lyon. But with 4 minutes remaining of normal time, Cape Verde are close for an additional 30. And could we have a 4th penalty shootout in the last 32? We had it earlier. Australia, Egypt went to penalties in Atlanta. Egypt await the winners. Few though would have thought this was the case.
Still can't quite believe that, 86 minutes in and it's 1-1 between Argentina and Cape Verde, and they deserve it. They've performed really well, scored a really good goal, and Argentina just haven't done enough to get beyond them so far. There's still time.
Messi runs forward, bursts towards the byline right-hand side, sends over the cross, partially cleared. McAllister running forward, strikes it right-footed. He says it went behind for a corner. The referee initially awarded a goal kick, and then VAR quickly said, no. Corner kick to Argentina that Messi wants to take quickly. 3 minutes remain.
Yeah, I thought it was a corner as soon as he struck it, McAllister. The referee clearly too close to see the deflection, and there was a deflection, so it's the right decision.
Corner kick to Argentina, still 1-1. There's the whistle. Messi was about to take it. Canadian referee Drew Fisher just says, I'm not having any of that. The jostling, pushing, little word of warning. Still with his beady eye on it. Messi delivers the corner kick. Vecina tries to punch, couldn't get there. It's headed out before he could get there with both hands. He tried to reach for it. Right-hand side, ball played back to Molina. Molina clicks it in long. Out to this near side. Gonzalez plays the ball back. Alvarez. This now is with Lisandro Martinez. Helped out to Tagliafico. Infield, Alvarez. Passes the ball along the ground. Stretching is Messi, running forward on his toes, edge of the area, enters the box. Messi onto the left boot, plays it short, couldn't get the return ball. And there was Willy Semedo to clear the ball out of play. And we've got 2 minutes of normal time remaining, 1-1, 5 live.
Yeah, they're probing Argentina. They just can't find that opening. Cape Verde, very rigid, narrow, compact. Thought they were going to win it there and go and attack themselves. Thought about, can Argentina score? Imagine if Cape Verde scored a winner here.
There are so many supporters, you can see them fanning themselves, such as the humidity, the sultry conditions here inside this stadium. But Argentina are sweating for another reason, as Paredes out towards Messi. How long does Messi stay on the field for? Here is Messi coming forward, chips the ball inside the penalty area. Cleared away by Pico Lopez. It was McAllister who threw himself at it, but just couldn't get there.
A commitment to defending. I mean, they're lining up to block and get headers in and they're tackling each other. Shout for a handball, which it is a handball as it's headed across, down off his face onto his arm. It should be fine.
That would be extremely harsh.
Yeah. I mean, he's gone for the header. There's a little nick before him. Then it comes off his head. And his arm's in a position you would expect from challenging for the ball, just at his left-hand side. And it almost rolls down his face and off his shoulder and onto his arm.
VAR are clearly having a look because the throw-in hasn't been able to be retaken.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you have to go and make sure you get the right decision.
Yeah.
Which I think they have.
Armando Villarreal was the VAR official. That would have been very, very harsh, cruel on Cape Verde. By my watch, we're inside the last 30 seconds of normal time. 1-1, ball chipped forward, right into the midriff of Vecina. Comes forward and takes it into his midriff, and then an underarm throw out to Moreira on this near side, the right back. Looks for Montero, the interception though, Gonzalez with the layup. This is Enzo Fernandez for Argentina. We're going to find out how much added time there will be as Katia Garcia holds the electronic board, and we're into 8 minutes of stoppage time. And the defending champions are still looking for a winner. Otherwise, they're going to be taken to extra time by Cape Verde. 5 live and the BBC sounds out. Gonzalez, Paredes, dark hair towards Messi, drops deep, chips the ball forward, left-footed. Gonzalez twisting, heads the ball back inside the area. Willy Semedo stumbles inside the box, loses the ball. Argentina have got it back now. This is Paredes, infield. Alvarez looks for a shooting opportunity, but there's no way through, blocked by Pina. Forward now towards Willy Semedo. Pina tries to shuffle the ball forward, only it goes to Lisandro Martinez. Sweeps it in field. Romero's now no longer at walking pace. They were for large parts at the back. Now all of a sudden there's more urgency from the central defenders.
Yeah, they need to find a way. Argentina, this is a stubborn defensive unit, not just the back line, defensive team. Spain couldn't do it. Can Argentina do it?
Spain couldn't do it. Uruguay couldn't do it. Saudi Arabia couldn't do it. They couldn't beat the obdurate opposition of Cape Verde. Here is McAllister. Out it goes wide. Molina doesn't deliver the cross, level with the penalty area. This is Paredes, who shoots from distance, and he warms the hands of Vecina, who's even got time for a couple of keepy-ups.
Yeah, it's all about positioning for Vecina. It's a good strike, plenty of power on it. Vecina reads it. It's comfortable for him. Takes the sting out of the effort. And then, as you say, decides to do a couple of little keepy-ups.
They actually deserve extra time.
Yeah, they do. And as much as Argentina have had their chances, not loads, but Messi's chance, you'd expect him to find the back of the net. But they've played so well, they'll fancy they can get a winner.
Montero snaps into the challenge, races after it. McAllister needs to use his strength to pass the ball back towards Paredes, who was almost the last line of defence, and now the deep-lying midfielder collects it from Romero and passes the ball to Lisandro Martinez. It was 8 minutes of added time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're now into the 3rd minute of those minimum of 8. The Argentinian supporters create more noise, trying to carry them over the line. As McAllister trots in field, Lisandro Martinez, Tagliafico to his left, the left back towards Christian Romero, lays it forward towards Paredes. Out it goes wide to the right-hand side. Molina's cross takes a deflection, loops in the air. Awkward for Pico Lopez to head it away. Willy Semedo now filling in on this near side. Almost as a secondary right-back clears. Keeps coming back though. This is McAllister. Thought he was going to shoot from distance. He gives the ball towards Messi. Messi with his back to goal. Twists and turns, and Messi then is felled. And that'll be a direct free kick about 23 yards out. This is Messi territory. Worrying for Cape Verde, 1-1 in injury time.
That's magic from Messi. Takes the ball in, little drop of the shoulder. Takes it with the outside his left as if he's going to go into his right. Spins back with the inside his foot. Drags inside. Shifts the ball right to left. He's taken down. This is a much better range and position for Messi. Could this be the moment when he finds it once again?
They are looking to become just the third team to score 2 or more goals in 10 successive World Cup matches. They would be the first team to do it in 68 years. If they are to do it, this set piece gives them an opportunity with Messi as he just leans on his knees, bending forward. And it will be Messi because Alvarez is walking away. There was only ever one taker. When your country needs you most, Lionel Messi is looking to deliver yet again. There's the referee's whistle. Messi hands on hips. Cape Verde have everybody back. 4 minutes of injury time remain. Messi goes low, left-footed, spooned away. The header back. And saved by Vicinha. He went low. Vicinha reacted well, but he couldn't get his hand, but he just pushed it up into the air and then gathered in the rebound header, and he stayed down on the ground.
Yeah, he's gambled, Vicinha, that his wall's going to do its job, and he stayed at the back post because he jumps. He does have a little move to go towards, and it's a big deflection right in front of him. As Messi knows, he's firing it through bodies. But he's taking the gamble there, Vicinha, and it's paid off for him.
It was more of a shoveling, really, wasn't it, by those giant hands of Vicinha, the 40-year-old keeper. Once again making another important save. That was, what, about 3 good saves that he's made now in this game. 1-1. McAllister's furious with the referee. Cape Verde, midway through the Argentina half, have been awarded a free kick. How bold do they go?
The centre-backs have gone up. This is why they've been so good, because they trust that their unit and their shape and their teamwork is there. They also trust that they can win games. I know they haven't won games yet at the World Cup, but you can see they believe they can win them. And it's not easy to win games at World Cup, certainly not knockout fixtures against the defending champions.
Well, this would be a knockout blow with just 2 minutes remaining. Sidney Cabral to take it, headed out by Paredes. The Navy shirts still, the majority of them are in the Argentinian half. This is Montero in the midfield, back to Sidney Cabral, who stayed out on this right-hand side. Moreira, the right-back's playing as a central defender, as the 2 centre-backs are only now coming back into position as they restructure and go back to their natural shape. But they're keeping the ball here. Pico Lopez goes down the line to Willy Semedo. Willy Semedo tries to turn. The ball squirts on the inside. Livramento looks for Willy Semedo. And Argentina put the ball out of play for a throw. And Cape Verde take it quickly on the right-hand side. They are not playing here for the final whistle. They are not backs to the wall. They're confident. They're backing themselves.
That's so good. I mean, summed up by how quick you get the throw in. Now they're going to go and try and win the game. They're not just seeing time out. They're going to go and try and win the game. Maybe they're tired, maybe they don't fancy extra time. They feel they can go and get the job done.
In this stifling stadium, Cape Verde are a breath of fresh air as they're attacking, and now it's Brown. Oh, that looks a free kick. Referee Drew Fisher says no. I did think that Varela had been fouled on the right-hand side of the penalty area.
Yeah, it looked like it, but the referee's in a good position. He said no. If not, then it's a dive. And do something about it.
By my watch, we've got about 10 seconds remaining of the minimum of 8 to be played. Not many people would have predicted this scoreline. Argentina 1, Cape Verde 1. The defending champions, ranked number 1 in the world, against the debut nation, Cape Verde, 64th in the world. But there is the end of the 90 minutes. And the fairy tale continues for Cape Verde, because they have forced Argentina for an additional 30 minutes. And from what we've witnessed so far, they will not buckle.
No, they won't. They'll continue to go. They'll continue to believe. I mean, 1-1. Surely nobody expected this. Nobody. I watched them against Uruguay. I loved it. I loved how they played and performed. But you're still expecting Argentina to turn up and get the job done. But they've just kept going, kept believing, and somehow they find themselves in this position. They deserve it. But you're right, in this extra time, maybe towards the end there'll be a thought of, if it's still 1-1, to get to penalties and then take your chances there. But they'll go and try and find moments to win the game. And that's why I love them as much as I do, because they just play with a freedom. They've come here to enjoy themselves. Disciplined, of course. Organised, yes. But they've come to enjoy and show they're good players. And they've showed that in abundance tonight.
Lionel Messi gave Argentina the lead. It was a goal that was scored just before the half hour, but then just before the hour, Deroy Duarte with a well-taken goal. And it means now that Argentina have joined Germany as the two nations who've been taken into extra time the most of any nation taken the defending champions right to the very edge. And it was only with Romero's header that in the end knocked out Cape Verde as Argentina win by 3-2. But what a game of football, what emotion. It had everything.
What an absolute privilege to be here to witness it. You've just described the Rocky movie, and this is what it is. Cape Verde have lost, but they've won because they've shown everything: courage, togetherness, unity as a team, unwavering belief in what they are and what they can do. Argentina have had to work for the victory tonight, and you can't argue